the sound came like in some documentaries, but this is so awesome that people from like you very back then. And one question from let me see, from Matias Tolo from Argentina.
Mm.
He is asking that if you know how to play another instruments, and if you have yes, if you play another kind of instruments or just didgeridoo.
Not really. Like, I can, find a C on a piano, and I have some basic, super basic skills on keyboard, but and I can play a little bit of like horns, like a trombone, but that's all very, very basic. I really focused on the ditch and tried to get maximum out of it. I used to take some singing lessons and things like that, so everything that I did was somehow connected to the didgeridoo. So if I was playing trombone, it was to perfect my toots. If I was playing a synthesizer, it was also to create some background, or just to like evolve a certain song. So everything was always very didgeridoo centered in my universe.
Yeah, yeah, it helps a lot. Like the singing part, the lessons. I remember also I took some lessons of singing, and the teacher always put it to 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 do the with the lips. I don't know how to say in English, but in Spanish it's trompetilla. Like so,
Mhm.
it came very like, well, this is how to play the didgeridoo, bro. And start to play the didgeridoo. This is another question from, let me see, Eduardo Castillo. This is a friend from Mexico City, and he is asking that, what is the best place do you have played acoustically?
Oh wow, that's an interesting question. Um, hmm, I would have to roll back like a million years in my mind. Um, there are certain things that come to mind, like caves, but actually, I don't like playing in caves and big churches that much, because the reverb is so huge that you can only play very, very slowly. And there's also a certain tempo that is dictated by that, echo, if there is. So maybe the best room I ever played in was something like a big room where I recorded Stinky Room or made Stinky Room. So that was a long time ago, but it was a real room. It was quite big, maybe 20 by 10 by 5 meters approximately. So it wasn't too big, but it wasn't small. So there was like the bass was augmented, but it was not like too much bass. There was clarity. There was definitely the live response of the room, which was inspiring. Um, but it wasn't like overwhelming, and you weren't the room wasn't the master, so there was like a game going on. That was in one old military facility actually, which was abandoned, and maybe that was like the best acoustic space, even though it's not like a charming story,
Mhm.
it's not like something beautiful. Maybe I remember now once one small chapelle in France where it was also very good. So, but it was broken in more rooms, so it wasn't just one big room. And I think that one was abandoned as well.
Mm.
Um, yeah, but it's not easy to find a great acoustic space because your sound is either like bounced off the surfaces too much or not at all. Like if you're in a big concert hall and you play, I mean, your sound it just goes away and you feel rather weak. This is why we like to sing in the shower because our voice gets amplified by the small space. And so when you play in I don't know, in a cellar, which is small, you get a big sense of power, but it's also relatively, it's fake,
Mhm.
so to say. It's not really fake, but it's just in the context of that small space, you're a big a big thing. If you go out of and go in a big space, you will become a small thing. So I would say some medium place is where I feel best, where I feel that there is a game going on, that space helps me. Oh, Clonkiller in Bern, that's nice place, and it has gongs. There's nipple gongs on the wall, hanging by the wall, and they amplify certain overtones or certain notes that you play.
Mhm.
So they are like a sustained echo. That is very special place. Maybe, in time more things will come. But this is organized by Willie Graham, who is the grandfather of didgeridoo, so of
So
Western didgeridoo. Yeah.
so awesome. To hear all that kind of places that have uh, like a nice acoustic that you don't need so much gear and just boom or
Mm.
make that big roar. What kind of place was the last one? It wasn't like amphitheater or a big chapel. What was that place?
Which place?
The last one that you told me that this
The
one.
Clan Killer. Killer is the sound cellar. This is in Bern, in Switzerland.
Okay,
You can find some concerts on YouTube in Will's channel.
okay.
Um, Many players have been there. I know Andre has been there. Agostina has been there.
Mm-mm.
Um, Willie has been there. But the special thing is, first of all, it's not too big, not too small. Like I said, it has a high ceiling, which is important. Um, so you have no surfaces except floor, which is very near you. And
Oh,
then these gongs, they're tuned, so they will, since there are many of them, I don't know, maybe 20 or even more. It's like when you play near piano, some of the strings will be triggered by some of your sounds. And that is a certain sustain that is sustaining it's like an accompaniment to what you play. So this room, together with these gongs, is something really special.
so awesome, so awesome. Another question, in this, it will relate with one of your